Hey guys, session 2 of Granny Torrelli Makes Soup by Sharon Creech. We're going to continue with reading the book aloud in this video and also continuing with the stop and jot process. Again, if you do not have your stop and jot paper in front of you at this time, please pause the video, make sure to go get some, and then come back so that you are ready to listen and stop and jot at the same time. Alrighty. So we last left off where we just found out that Granny Torrelli had cut Violetta's hair, and that was kind of a monster move of Granny Torrelli. And now she also has left Bailey and Rosie alone together. So we're now in the middle of her pause because she needed to take her break. A long pause. So quiet, there in the kitchen, just me and Bailey, while Granny Torrelli is taking her little pause. Then Bailey reaches across the table, finds my hand, and taps on it once, lightly. A little grin is on his face. Rosie, are you jealous? Puh, I say, just like Granny Torrelli. Jealous? Me? Of what? Of Janine. I'm stopping and jotting because I think Bailey knows that Granny Torrelli is telling these stories for them. B knows GT is telling the stories. Janine? Jealous of Janine? Now why would I be jealous of Janine? My mind is a riot, thoughts racing around, crashing into one another. I am jealous. I know it. A million zillion times jealous, but I can't stop myself. Bailey taps my hand again. I don't know why you would be jealous of Janine. Unless you think that I would like her better than you, Rosie. Does Bailey like her better? That's what I want to know. So that was on page, let me get our page numbers, 110. Page 110. Does B like Janine better than R? Crash, zing, things flying around inside my head. So fast, I'm thinking, hurry, Granny Torrelli, hurry. Come back from your pause and rescue me before I say something utterly stupid. But Granny Torrelli is taking a long pause. Finally, I say, well, would you, Bailey? Would you like her better than me? I am shocked at my bold, rosy self. I want the answer, but only if it's the right answer. If it's the wrong answer, I want Bailey to evaporate, and I want the whole world to vanish. Bailey shrugs. I don't think so, he says. That is his answer? I don't think so? My tiger is raging. You don't think so? I say. You don't Think so? Bailey's mouth does a little scrunching thing. Was that the wrong answer? He says. And then there is Granny Torrelli, back from her long pause, with his wrong answer, and hanging in the air, hanging heavily in the kitchen air. So page 111, he had a wrong answer. Page 111, his answer was, I don't think so. Wrong answer. Snakes. Granny takes a look around, senses that maybe her pause should have been even longer. It looks as if she's debating whether or not to leave the room again. But then she steps purposefully to the counter and lifts the bowl of dough. Bene, she says, I will do my little miracles, and then we will make the snakes. Snakes? Bailey says. Fun part, Granny says. You'll see. She sprinkles flour on one of the pastry boards, dumps the dough onto it, and then she kneads and pats and rolls the pasta with her hands, so graceful, so gentle, until the dough is gleaming and smooth. No more sticky patches. It looks beautiful. Then she shapes the dough into an oval and takes the big knife and slices off pieces, each one the size of a tiny lemon. And she places one lemon-sized piece in front of each of us. Flour your hands, she says, like this. And she shows Bailey by letting him feel her own hands. Now, you make the snakes. Rosie, show Bailey. I glare at her. I'm not wanting to show Bailey. But Granny winks at me. I move over beside Bailey and take his hands and put them on the dough with my hands on top of his. I show him how to roll with his fingers so the dough will get longer and thinner. And I stop being mad at Bailey while my hands are on his. So I'm stopping and jotting on that's page 113 I just read, where Granny gives a little wink and she says, you show him. Because I think that that's going to be evidence later for our claim of that Granny Torrelli is a problem solver. So page 113, Granny winks. R showing B how to make snakes. Oh, I get it, he says. And so I let go of his hands and I stand back, watching as he swiftly rolls his dough into perfect snakes. Inside, I am thinking good things and terrible things. I want to stay there watching Bailey forever. I want him never to leave. I do not want him ever to be with Janine. I hate Janine for coming to live in our neighborhood. I want the snakes to be real and slither off the table and under the door and over to Janine's and... Are you going to help us, Rosie? Granny Torrelli says, jolting me out of my head, bringing me back to the kitchen and the dough. We make all the snakes, and then Granny Torrelli tells me to chop them up. So I chop each snake into little inch-long pieces. I love the next part, when we make the little Cavatelli. Show Bailey, will you, Rosie? Granny Torrelli says. And I'm happy to put my hand on Bailey's again and dip his fingers into the flour and then show him how to take one of the little pieces and roll it with his forefinger against his thumb, pressing in as he rolls, so it makes the perfect shape. It looks like a little dough canoe. Bene, bene, Granny Torrelli says. Sitting across from us, watching me and Bailey side by side, making the little dough canoes, the Cavatelli. And for the first time, it is peaceful in the kitchen. And I am outside myself, a calm place to be. So I'm going to leave off there for today. And I'm just going to write one final stop and jot that I think that was on page 116. I think Rosie seems a bit calm now, so that tiger self that she had before, I think that it's kind of going away for now. Maybe it'll be back, but I do want to make note of that on 116. So, page 116, Rosie's tiger self seems to be calm after making pasta. Alrighty guys, so I'm going to end the video there for today. If you had any final stop and jots, make sure that you got them down. And I'll see you next session. Bye.